Hey, it's Nay, and welcome back to Nay's Little Garden and Home. So today I want to talk to you about some of my favorite seed companies, and then I have a few honorable mentions because there are a lot of options out there. There are a lot, and I'm gonna put this disclaimer out there before I even get into this. I feel like most places that you can buy seeds, whether online or in person, the seeds on average are gonna grow. So I wouldn't be overtly concerned about only buying at very specific seed places. And I think that it's important to do what you can and shop where you can with the budget that you have, right? Let's hop, skip, jump right into it. I like a lot. I'm gonna list a lot of brands as like the bonus brands, but these top four, I'm gonna tell you exactly why they're my favorite, and some of them, the reasons are gonna not be like super sensical, I think, to some people, and then other reasons will make a lot of sense, right? So the first thing I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna save my favorite one for last, although I'm sure you guys can guess by now. But the first one I want to talk about is Matt's Peppers. This is I feel like it's like a 1 or 2 person show. Like Matt is the one I feel like doing all of the work, but maybe he has like one other person to help him or something. This man is like growing in his like backyard or something, and it's called Matt's Peppers. And maybe at one point he was only selling peppers, but now he does have a few tomato varieties. I do shop Matt for peppers. And when I say peppers, I'm saying spicy and sweet peppers. This man has a lot of different varieties. Now I think he also gets some seeds from other places as well, or maybe he grew the seeds from other people, grew his own, and then harvested his own. But I gotta say, they are insane. I think his packaging is insane. Let me actually show you the packets of these things. So this is what this is, right? Now, there are some downsides to this, but for me, there's also upsides. One, first of all, there's a lot of seeds. He gives a lot of seeds per packet. Second of all, if you've been with me for a little bit, you'll know that I did say a couple things about the size of the packets that they use to house the seeds. And this is obviously much more sensical in terms of the sheer amount of seeds that this could hold. It's not like a big massive thing. Now, there are no instructions on this. There are no instructions. That's okay, sort of. Like the instructions, I do prefer instructions, and I also prefer pictures, but it's not the end of the world for me personally. So for me, it's almost like I enjoyed his website. I do, so I think the website is pretty decent. It's not the best website I've had to be able to scroll through, but it's a pretty decent website. I think it's a very beautiful website, and he does have the pictures of the peppers on his website. The descriptions are not too shabby, and the sheer varieties of peppers you can find, you're gonna have a hard time finding them in other places. He is also in USA, which I also think is a plus for me personally. And the pricing for the varieties are good. So they're not as cheap as something else, other brands I'm about to mention, but for the amazing, insane varieties he gives, the price for me is not insane. Especially that you get free shipping while like hitting $25, I believe, and then he usually gives you like a free packet of seeds. He gives you stickers. He gives like the whole presentation is also really well, and the shipping is insane. I purchased from this man 2 or 3 times, and each time he shipped within that day or two. I want to say within the day, but I don't want you assuming you're definitely gonna get it shipped out within that day. You don't know what's happening, but for me personally, it happened within that day, and so he don't play. And then he sends you like a picture sometimes of your actual like ship, like, oh, here's your picture of the stuff I'm sending you, and then it's amazing. I honestly really enjoyed shopping on his website, and I think that it's good to be reliable. And his seeds did what they need to do. Like I said, these are very interesting seeds, and he does let you know, like, sometimes you're not going to get the variety you think, because he doesn't like the dramatic lengths to just avoid cross-pollination, but I really haven't had any issues. And when it comes to like a spicy pepper, I mean I haven't had any issues, to be honest, with his seeds. But if you did perchance get an issue, I'm not gonna tell you it's not that serious. It's for you to decide. But I enjoy Matt's peppers. So that's Matt's peppers. The next one is Wild Boar Farms. Now, Wild Boar Farms, I believe, is only tomatoes. They are also in that vein, like Matt, where they have 1,000,000,001 varieties. And they have some really, really cool varieties. For me personally, Wild Boar Farm also has the sheer amount of, hold on, I definitely have some of the seeds from them right here to show you. But here it is. They also have like what I would say is a good packet size, and the sheer amount of seeds they give you to the pricing is kind of insane. So the pricing is decent, right, for the varieties, and then the pricing becomes insanely good for the sheer amount they give you. So they tell you about the guesstimate that you have. So for this, it says 25 to 40 seeds. I think I've gotten about 10 or 12 packets from them, or maybe 8. I've gotten several, right, from them, and I'm going to tell you right now, none of them did I get the baseline, which is 25 or whatever that minimum is. Never. I basically gotten very close or over what the maximum was, which is insane, which means that really and truly you're going to get this and have, as just a regular backyard, like regular small plot suburban grower, you're going to have seeds for a minute. Like you can grow 3 to 5 of a plant. So that means, let's say you're going to actually put 5 to 8 seeds in the soil or in seed starting trays, and you're gonna do that for a few years before you run out of one packet, which is insane for me. I feel like a lot of places give about like, it really depends on also the variety you're getting, because obviously if you're getting lettuce, you're gonna get a lot more seeds and stuff like that. But it's just very impressive. I find Wild Boar Farms and Matt Pepper amount of seeds they give you to be supremely impressive. So whatever the slightly higher price that they're charging makes sense personally to me. The next one I want to talk about is one that's really big, I would say. It's like well known, is Baker's Creek. Baker Creek is different from Matt's Peppers and Wild Boar Farms in that this is a selection type of seed company. They have a massive variety of a multitude of different things: tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, onion seeds. If you want to grow it, there's a high chance they have it. Now, these are the size typically around of a regular seed packet. And when you can do something like this, you can have instructions on the back and a description of the actual thing you're talking about. So this is the Paul Robeson tomato, and it talks about a Russian variety lovingly named for the famous opera singer Paul Robeson. Amazing flavor that is so distinctive, sweet and smoky. 7 to 10 ounce fruit is a red brick color. And then it gives you planting instructions. They tell you, sprouts, how many days it sprouts in, ideal temp, seed depth, planting space, frost hardy, minimum full sun, 8 to 12 hours. And the website is rareseeds.com. But the company is called Baker's Creek. And then they tell you minimum seed count. So for this one, it's 25, the best sell by, the lot number. You got a lot of information on this. So they kind of took up a good amount of space on here to really explain to you what you're supposed to be doing. So when you're a newer gardener, something like this is very useful. Extremely useful, if you will. Whereas Matt's Peppers and Wild Boar Farms, you're gonna have to be Googling stuff, right? I enjoy this company, like I said, because of the vast selection. The price is decent. The seed count is not bad. I find that they're a little more close to the actual minimum, because it says minimum. I found it a little more close to the minimum seed count that is there. They do actually have a number that you can call if, I guess, you have any issues or whatever. Pictures for me are kind of important. And I know I said that, but my first two did not have pictures. I love to know what it should look like when I'm growing. Now, as you start really selecting and being like, oh, I want to grow this, and you keep growing it over and over again, the picture really isn't necessary. But as a new gardener or a new variety that you'll be growing, it is cool to see what it is you're supposed to be growing. And then you'll be able to keep going back to the packet to remember exactly what it is that your plant should be looking like. And that's completely up to you about whether or not you think that's necessary. But like, come on, like, and they take the pictures so well. Like, it just, I love it. I love it. All right, and then the top dog for me, kind of almost overall, is the Emma Gardner. Now, this is another large seed packet for the seeds to only hit this little lower portion here. This gives you there is absolutely almost no reason for you to need to look up anything when you get a packet from Emma Gardner. Luke is the owner of Emma Gardner, and they definitely give you typically less seeds for things like peppers and tomatoes than other companies, but they have the best price outside of like Dollar Tree, right? And you're gonna get these are really good seeds, right? The price is great. I believe you get free shipping after a certain pricing point as well. He holds 2 sales on top of the already insane price. And Luke Luke is one of my favorite YouTubers, period, right? Like, I'm not even just talking about gardening. I have a lot of hobbies: crochet, baking, cooking, hair, makeup, nails, self-care, gardening, reading. I have a lot of hobbies and a lot of content creators that I do watch on YouTube because of that, right? Luke is in my top 5 favorite YouTube channels, period, across the board. This man, of course, you need to make money to survive, but he actually truly really cares about the gardening community. He wants people to garden, and he gives so much useful information in a way that does not send me to sleep. I want knowledge, and I also want fun, but I don't want the fun to distract me from the knowledge, and I don't want the knowledge to bore me to tears. Luke has found this really good way about it. I enjoy his energy. I enjoy how serious it is. I believe this man has brought back 1 or 2 different tomato seeds from extinction. Thank you. Like he is just amazing. He also seems like a good human being in general. He's also US based. I enjoy that too. I like to support, when I can. He's also considered a small business. I think he has like 30 employees or something, 25 employees or something like that. And obviously he does a lot of work himself. And I think that the pictures are very nice on his. And I would say they're some of the most realistic. I feel like he does the least amount of retouching of his pictures. And he constantly is coming out, not constantly, but he makes a point every year to come out with new stuff. There are times when the seeds are out of stock, and then he restocks quite quickly. He is also someone who, it's interesting to me that this is not the norm. We're gonna step outside of seeds a little bit and go into things like garlic. Luke is one of the few people that will sell you garlic that I found. I'm sure there's more, but that I found that will sell you garlic by the head. A lot of other websites, and even like in the store, will only sell you garlic seed in like bunches, like you got a couple of them. And so I feel like you can really start to really be more customizable, in my opinion. He has a very good seed selection too, as overall, like Baker's Creek. Like, you got peppers, tomatoes, onions, and then he also has live plants, so you also can get like garlic, strawberries, blueberries. I believe you give this man enough time, there's gonna probably possibly be a chance he might end up selling trees too. And you'll just like, he expands what he sells, and he also sells like water soluble fertilizers and like the soil like that man honestly, check the website out. I also find the website, I don't know if I said this about Baker Creek, but Baker Creek and M.I. Gardner, for me personally, have one of the best websites. They're the most easy to navigate because they break things down a lot by categories, so I don't have to go through and look at other things I'm not interested in. I think I've talked about M.I. Gardner a little too much, but it's my favorite website. It's my favorite seed company as of right now. I have a few, I purchase from a lot of different brands. So here's other ones that I do also like. Renee's Garden. I will be buying from Renee's Garden again. Renee's Garden for me, and I'm not saying the pricing is exact, but price-wise is like Johnny Seeds. Johnny Seeds is also another company I enjoy, but Johnny Seeds and Renee's Garden, price-wise, are kind of expensive for me, but they also bring another element to things. So Johnny will, like, they're gonna tell you down to like germination rate. Like they really are very serious about making sure you get the biggest bang for your buck, and that you get like organic stuff from them, and like organic, like certified stuff. And there's a ton of varieties. I also enjoy Johnny's website. They also have pelleted seeds. I feel like that's something I would enjoy. Luke, I don't think Luke has pelleted seeds yet. I think that would be something cool that I think people would be willing to buy. And Luke does something from M.I. Gardner where you can also get bigger packets, so there's more seeds from him as well. Johnny does that as well. So Johnny Seeds just for like farmers as well, so you get like a lot of seeds. They have a ton of varieties across the board as well. They are expensive. You have to make that choice whether or not that's something you're willing to spend on. But I did in fact get their carrots, and the pelleted carrots and something else, and they grew really well. They grew very well. I will plant out Johnny Seeds a lot more spread out for carrots, because I know the odds of them actually popping up are higher, I feel like, than a lot of other places. This is also another good brand. This is True Leaf Market. So my beef low key with Johnny and True Leaf Market is you guys have large seed packets like the other ones I was showing you, and no picture of their things. Now True Leaf Market's pricing is not as high as Johnny's, but Johnny's doesn't have the picture even though they have a high pricing. So that's something that, if that's important to you, you might want to think about that. But I do like True Leaf Market as well. I have absolutely no problems with True Leaf Market. They also have the information on the back. They have good varieties. It also looks like origin is U.S. Oh, they're in U.S. and Utah, so they give you a lot number. There's a lot of information on here. I'm not gonna hold you. And a QR code to scan in. They tell you the days. Like they also have a good thing. The seeds, the amount of seeds is decent. So it's about the 10 seeds. It's nothing like insane. I also quite like. They don't have a lot of seeds. So I don't want you to start thinking like, whatever, I'm just naming this because they do sell seeds. But the Greenstock, you know, the actual website for Greenstock, they too sell seeds. They have like little seed bundles. I don't know if you can actually buy the seeds separate, but they have like the seed bundle. So if you're going to buy yourself a Greenstock, oh, and I'm going to say this about Renee's Garden too. When it comes to growing in containers, sometimes I struggle with finding container specific things. So that's not necessarily always a category on websites. And Renee's Garden and the Greenstock obviously tell you this is like a container garden, which I think is extremely useful. The other website I want to talk to you about is Seeds and Such. I actually have quite a few seeds from Seeds and Such. Another same beef I have low-key with Seeds and Such is they also don't have a picture, and they have a large packet. You could have easily put the picture on here, but the price is not as high. Like, it's not a high price, so I don't have it. Like Johnny's, I really wish for the price that they cost to just put the picture on there, but it's fine. Another thing I kind of have with Seed and Such, they have a very generic explanation of the how to grow stuff. So how to start tomato, potato, eggplant, celery, or peppers. And this is a pepper seed. And I'm not saying that the information they give is wrong. It's just not very specific. It's not telling you the days to harvest. It's not telling you anything. So you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants. And as you garden more, obviously you need less information. But as a new gardener, that is something that I was like, oh my gosh, please. And then I had to look up a couple of times, I feel like, on seeds and such. I think I'm going to leave it at those seeds. Let me know if you want to hear about more companies that I do enjoy. There are few more that I've purchased from that I enjoyed. Anyway, don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button, and hopefully I see you in my next video. Bye bye.